Well, multiple seats remain on a knife's edge after Saturday's election. I'm joined now by Chief Election Analyst Connell. Tom, good afternoon. You're calling another seat?
Yeah, we've seen enough information. I'll show you the seat. We've obviously been looking really closely at a few of the so-called Teal seats. This one is the seat of Goldstein. Now, as you can see, it's all about the leads here. For the first time, in fact, Tim Wilson is now in the lead in this seat. Now, his lead's not big. It's only about 400, not even that, 350 votes or so, but it's about what vote is still coming in here. As we've been showing viewers over the past few days, postal vote has come in really strongly for him, 64%. That's a swing compared to last time of 9%. That's a massive swing. What that's done so far has meant he's gone from behind. That's caught him up 3,500 votes. Now, on the rest of the vote to come in there, even being conservative, he'd be at least 2,000 ahead. So even if that rate drops off, he'd be 2,000 ahead. With the rest of the vote to go, the best case scenario for Zoe Daniel right now would be, and this really would be best case scenario, would be something like getting within 500 votes, give or take. So even though this lead's very small now, given what the rest of the vote's going, the computer's saying too close, we're saying Tim Wilson will be returned to Parliament. He will be the first Liberal MP to actually so far gain a seat, not from Labor, but from Climate 200 at this election.
Okay, there you have it. Tom calling Goldstein. Tom, what about the other Teal seat in Melbourne?
Yeah, it's looking really close, closer than this one. It's a similar story. It's just not as big a lead that we're going to see the Liberal Party get once more of this vote comes in. So as you can see right now, we've still got, for now, Monique Ryan ahead by about 1,000 votes. So that's too close. This is a similar scenario when we go to these postal votes as they're coming in and how much they're swinging again towards the Liberal Party. Look at this, almost the same. Well, it is the same because it's giving me, unfortunately, that booth. Let's try one more time and hope the Kooyong booth works. Okay, there we go. Similar, a bigger swing, but a slightly lower rate. 62% is how they're flowing to the Liberal Party. Again, if you see the difference in these votes so far, it's nearly 3,000 Amelia Hamer has caught up. So she was 4,000 behind. Now she's 1,000 behind. On the rest of the postal votes, she'll move ahead, but not by as much as Tim Wilson. So right now, she would move ahead by something in the order of perhaps 1,000 or 1,500. If it slows down to below 1,000, that would make her quite vulnerable to the other votes yet to come in around absent and so on. If not, if she keeps up this sort of level, we'll be in a situation to call it. But I'd like to see how big her lead is and wait for some of those absent and other votes. They're not going to come in until at least tomorrow, I've been told. So Kooyong, I would say Amelia Hamer has now emerged as the favourite, but let's see some more of that vote come in. The other really close right now, Teal versus Liberal contest, is the seat of Bradfield. This is one, of course, at the moment the Liberal Party holds. Similar scenario again. If you look right now, look how tiny, look at that margin, 50.02. So how many votes are we talking about? 44 votes is the margin at the moment. And again, Giselle Kaptarian is actually the one that's moved back into the lead. And again, what's happening with the vote that's outstanding? If we look here at this postal vote, again, it's flowing really strongly to the Liberal Party. So this is where they've got back into the contest. These sorts of swings on postal are very unusual. So 10% swing, and you can see, in fact, there we go, we've got another issue. It still thinks we're in Kooyong. Let's try our luck again. Okay, so this is Nicolette Buller versus Giselle Kaptarian. As you can see here, a swing towards the Liberal Party. Ignore that, the 58% swing is what we want to look at right there. That's how much they're flowing right now. So not as strong, and that's meant so far she's caught up not quite as much. We're talking in the realm of 1,800. She is going to increase her lead. It's a question of by how much. Perhaps it will be more like 500 and then will absent votes come back. So again, I'd slightly prefer to be in Giselle Kaptarian's camp. There won't be as many postal votes in this seat of Bradfield from what we know as well. So all of those looking really close. One of them we're calling. There's a possibility the Liberal Party actually win all three in the end and boost their numbers. If we go to where the House is right now, that's before, of course. This is after. So now there's a 4 in front of it, finally, for the coalition. It's taken until Tuesday after Election Day.
Tom, what's happening in Menzies? Some developing news there.
Yeah, well, this is a seat I was a bit reluctant to call even on the Sunday, just because of, well, a couple of things. Again, we wanted to see the postal vote, and also the member there, the existing member, Keith Wallahan, ran a direct mail campaign. So that always means you can sweep up a bit more postal and have a stronger swing. Where it's at right now is a Labor gain. because that gap is just too big on what we can see the remaining vote coming in. So it's 1,600 right now is the gap between the Liberal Party and the Labor Party. Similar story, but not as strong in terms of the flow. The postal vote that is coming in right now, so far, about halfway through, you can see the gain has increased for Keith Wolahan. So at the moment, 1,800. That last batch of postal votes was actually much better for him. So that in of itself has made this seat tighter. I think this is one where he's a bit of an outside chance of making up enough vote and perhaps moving ahead and then hoping he can hang on to that lead for absent. But the most his lead might be is 500, so that's quite delicate. The other factor is, though, when we go back to the overall seat number here, might just go back in via this menu, is there's possibly an error in terms of vote. Now, we don't know exactly what has happened so far, but keep in mind, again, this margin at the moment, it's a margin of about 1,400 votes. There was initially a thought in the first count that Keith Wolahan was meant to get 1,800 more votes. It's unclear what's happened. The AEC is looking into it. The Liberal Party is saying it's not a conspiracy, but they just want to make sure they know what's happened. If that's the case, 1,800 votes, he'd be clearly into the lead plus postals. He would win this seat. So if that error, if those votes are somewhere, he'll win the seat. If they're not, if somebody just miscounted, whatever else happened, Labor would still be on track. So we're going to keep a close eye on this seat. It's possible it actually flips back to the Liberal Party despite looking like it was in Labor hands come Sunday night.